Hello and welcome to Introduction to Business Analysis. My name is Steve and I'll be your tutor and guide throughout this session. Here we'll be focusing on some of the fundamental principles of analysis, some definitions, what it is, and how it applies to development projects. They'll follow a series of slides that cover these concepts with further explanation and further detail. So, enjoy. Welcome. This session is Introduction to Business Analysis. We're going to start with a formal definition of what business analysis is. This is one given by the British Computer Society, the UK professional body for IT generally and business analysis specifically. And you can see that this focuses on the fact that the business analysis role is an advisory one, not decision making. The idea is that you provide advice to the business by looking at the overall business situation, looking at options and requirements, and then carrying things forward through to implementation and delivery of business benefits. Here's an alternative definition that I developed myself. The application of technical and communication skills to develop information systems that make best use of information technology and meet the business needs of an organisation. We're going to look at each of these points in turn and delve a little deeper into them and explain what they mean. The technical skills required by a business analyst fall into two main areas. Firstly, analysis in general uses a number of modelling techniques, a lot of them based on diagrams with supporting text that help you to understand and analyse the business. Then information technology skills. This is helpful, but it's important to note it's not essential for all business analysis roles. Some BAs come from an IT background and move on into business analysis from, say, systems development or testing, but many business analysts enter the role from a business background or at entry level as a graduate. All that's needed if you haven't got deep knowledge of IT is the willingness to learn as you go along and develop your career. Communication skills are absolutely central to the business analyst role. A lot of the job is about talking to people and building relationships with them, having the ability to gain trust, to build bridges, and generally work with people within the business, within IT, and outside the business. Also, some specifics. Some of the activities involved in fact-finding, such as interviewing, need good communication. You may well be involved in facilitated workshops where you might be identifying or analysing requirements or looking at wider business problems and solutions. And from time to time, you may be required or need to conduct presentations to communicate with people within a project or within the business. All of these skills can be improved and learned as you go along, but essentially a large part of the BA role is about communication. Then the phrase information systems, which I've used deliberately, not IT systems. The idea is that you need to take what's called an holistic approach. Look at all aspects of a system, both the IT elements, but also the business processes, what people are doing with that data and information. the underlying data that underpins the system and how it should be organised and stored, and also the wider business, the organisation itself and the people within it. And best use of information technology essentially means appropriate solutions, not using technology for its own sake or using the latest technology just because it's the latest technology, but looking at the best solutions from a business perspective, coming up with something that's workable and, importantly, cost effective, that delivers real business benefits. A broad approach that I take is to tend towards using tried and trusted solutions rather than being at the cutting edge, but also innovating where it helps, where it will deliver business benefits. And overall, business analysis is a business-driven approach, not IT-driven. It's about the business. It's about understanding the business requirements, what they want to achieve, and then having the knowledge and imagination and creativity to propose good workable solutions that will meet those requirements. Now, to underpin all that, I want to move on to some absolute fundamentals of systems and IT. So we could start with, what is a system? At the simplest level, it's something that works as a whole, has a number of elements that deliver something as a whole. And also at a basic level, a system can be defined as something that takes inputs, processes those inputs, does something with them, and then produces outputs. A very simple example might be a central heating system that takes inputs of gas and water, processes those by heating up the water, and produces an output, heat, in your home or office. In terms of IT and business, you can see on the right a very simple model of how an information system might work. It has 4 layers: people within the business doing things, communicating; the user interface, which is very often computer screens; IT processes within the system that are usually hidden to end users but are producing the outputs needed; and underpinning the whole thing, a database storing business data. So you have these 4 layers within a system, all of which need to be considered. And the key relevance of that, apart from the basic understanding of what a system is you need to analyse, understand requirements at all of those levels and tie them together to produce a workable system, which is sometimes called the holistic approach to systems development. A simple example of that might be a hotel booking system, where the system holds information about bookings, and let's say there are 10,000 bookings a month coming into this system. Staff and management need to be able to use that information to take action, but very few users could process and use, say, a printout or a screen with all those 10,000 bookings. What an IT system does is convert that data into useful information, for example, a monthly management report that summarises the data by hotel or by date or by type of booking, and allows people to do their jobs effectively at whatever level they're at. And here, a definition of what good information is, what good systems should produce. Good information, fairly obviously, should be accurate and up to date. It should be useful to the person receiving it and relevant to their job, their role and what they're doing, and at the right level of detail and presented so they can use it effectively. So what we're trying to achieve in business analysis is try to design and build systems that support the business by delivering what they need when they need it. So much of business analysis is about understanding the business as a whole and business requirements. Identify what they are, analyse them, try to delve deeper into them. Look at prioritisation, a key point. It's rare that all requirements can be met or should be met. So an analyst works with the business to understand key priorities, what must be done, what might be done, and perhaps what will not be done. And then carrying that through to implementation and ultimately delivering something. And in a broader sense, business analysis is about building bridges. I've always seen myself in part as an analyst, as a bridge between IT and the business. I'm sort of from both worlds. I understand the technology, I understand business, so I try and bring the two together. And in practice, sometimes there is a little bit of a gulf where IT tend to see things in their own terms, in terms of technology, and the business don't fully understand IT and what can and can't be achieved. So your role is to build bridges or be that bridge between the two. So ultimately, a slightly overused word maybe, but it's about delivering solutions. Workable systems, and remember by system, we mean both the IT elements and the people and business elements. A system that will meet business requirements and deliver real benefits to the business. Well, that concludes the session. I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting. You can now have a go at the quiz that follows this session to check and validate your knowledge, or simply go through it again. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to post them in the questions section of the course, and I will get back to you. So, thank you.